Hello everyone, my name is Quill, and in this video, we're going to be turning a forge into an incinerator. Before we begin, let's go over the materials that we'll need for this build. So I've went ahead and sectioned them off into the different phases. First off, we'll need rebar and some concrete mix. Later on, we will need paintbrush paint, then some iron bars, burning barrels, however many forges that you want to bring. I'm going to make 2 incinerators, so I want 2. And then after that, we're going to need a vault hatch, and then either a wet concrete block or something like a small pipe. I know the server I'm on, they let you buy these. I think traders also have them. I don't think you can craft them. And then later on, we'll add in some finishing touches, which if you're playing on a solo world, will require the use of the creative menu, or if you're on a server, some of them have the ability to allow you to buy things using different versions of currency. You may or may not be able to do this part. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the first piece. We need to find a clear spot on the wall and make an opening. This area should do nicely since there's nothing in our way except for a meter of reinforced concrete. Awesome. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to it. Now that we have an opening, we need to carve out a 3x3 area 4 blocks deep. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and seal the back wall and the roof with concrete. So like I said, it is a 3x3 area and it's 4 blocks deep. So the 4th block is where the wall is going to be. And like I said, go ahead and seal in the roof. Alright, so it should look just like this. We should now have a 2 block by 3 block area to work with. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and drill down another 3x3 section and make it 2 blocks deep. Okay, so once that's done, we can go ahead and seal up the bottom with concrete. So just like so. Okay, so your room should look like this. You should have a drop down of 1 block now with the bottom sealed up and have 3 blocks to move back with and have this 3 block of working space. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and seal in the very back row, and we're going to make this 2 blocks tall. So just like that. And then we can seal up the sides the same way. So this should leave us with a bit of a U shape, like you can see there, goes in, makes a U, and a little drop down. I'm just going to put these blocks here temporarily. We are not filling those in, but just so we can be level. Alright, so we have this opening that's left. What we're going to do is go ahead and drill these blocks out. And so it should let us put concrete all the way along the backside. So just go ahead and do that. And we're going to repeat those same things right here. Okay, I know it's a bit dark. Let me pick these up. I know it's a bit dark, but you should be able to walk in here. You would have a drop down and then have this opening right there. We are going to go ahead and seal up a little bit more. So if we take our rebar blocks in the back corner, we're going to put a block there, and then right here and right here. So that should leave us an opening on the side, directly in the middle, and on the opposite side. And it is time to move on to phase 2. So for this portion of the build, we're going to need a paintbrush and some paint. In case you did not know, you can paint wet concrete. It will keep the texture that you put on there once it finishes drying. So even if it's wet, go ahead and paint it. Now, as this is an incinerator, I'm looking for it to look a bit grimy, a burnt kind of look. So I'm going to pick textures that I feel like convey that. You can choose whichever ones you want. So let's go to materials. And the ones that I want to use are, I think brick 1 looks pretty well, or looks pretty good, but also the shingles asphalt looks decent. So I'm gonna do 2 forges, one using both of those. So first off, we'll start with the shingles asphalt, and we're just gonna paint all of the concrete that we added in, all of the wet concrete, not this spot right here. We're going to leave that for a moment. Just go ahead and paint this up. No one will see it, but I'm going to paint that anyway. So that we finished painting this, I feel like it gives it a bit of a kind of like a brick look. Some bricks that have been exposed to fire over time, they just kind of turn black with soot and stuff. But like I said, we're going to use a different texture. We'll do it over here for the next one. But let's go ahead and move on to the next part. For phase 3, let's grab our iron bars and our forges and our burning barrels. All right, we're going to take our forge and we're going to place it right back here in this back corner. And it sort of just blends in. I mean, you can still see it, but we're about to make sure that's not a problem. If we take a burning barrel, we can then go set it to on face. And if we're looking right here, it will target it out, or it'll set it outwards. And then we're going to take our other two and put them right there. As you can see, everything is starting to smoke up, and it kind of gives it a, like I said, it's an incinerator. For the next step, take your iron bars, and we're going to set them to advanced, and we're going to rotate them until they're on the top, like that. So you could do them however it looks on the top, that's fine. I like to have the bars running left and right rather than long ways. And then we're going to aim them right here on the area between the barrels and the forge. So this second block, or the block right there. I'm going to do 1 and 2. All right. And now we can go ahead and seal up this room. So the next thing we want to do is we want to seal up the little opening. However, if we take a vault hatch and we try to place it, it's not going to work. It's going to either want to go, like looking up or down, but we want it to be facing outwards, kind of like a door. So we have to trick it a little bit. Since there's nothing for it to grab onto, even putting it on something like on face isn't going to do much. It'll just stick it to the side. This is where the pipes and the wet concrete come in. We're going to take a vault hatch, and if we angle ourselves just right, so if we try to place it, it doesn't work, but if we angle ourselves just right, and we're looking technically at that little pipe, we can then put it on the wall and do something like rotate it and place it. That is what the incinerator looks like. We can still reach the forge in the back. We can add some wood, turn it on. It still works. It gives makes it a little bit smokier, and so it kind of just makes everything blend in. To wrap up this portion, we're going to take the paintbrush again, and we need to seal up this spot right here. You could use the same bricks or shingles, but what I like to do is make it a little bit different. Instead, I'm going to use garage door. I think that gives it a nice transition from the vault hatch to the brick. Kind of makes it look like it's a sleeve or something that it should be there. So that's my personal choice. And then if we wanted to top it off, this is where, like I said, you will need the creative menu or a server that allows you to make these to buy these or make these. If it's an incinerator, we can put bodies in it. So if we take something like this guy, we can take and put them right there, and we're still able to access the incinerator. And we can even take another body and put them in the back. It kind of makes it look like there's a way for us to get rid of the corpses that we get after a horde night or something like that. So it kind of looks like he's going into there. This guy's next. We can push him over when we're ready, and then close the incinerator. There we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and build the second one right here using the wet concrete block and a different texture. And once I'm finished, I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so I finished building this one, and like I said, this is what it looks like with the, I think this was brick 1. So what we're going to do now, if we want to seal it up with, without being able to use things like pipes and all that, the next best alternative is to use something like wet concrete. So obviously square is not going to help us out much, but if we hold R, go to shape, we can set it to wet concrete pole, and then you really just have to decide how you want it, or where you want it to be put. So you could put the block on the side like this, and it will serve the same purpose as that pipe. We can just take and set this to on face and slightly angle it, or if we aim at the side, we can also go to advanced and just spin it around until we get a bunch of options. like right there. So I don't like the way that this sticks out, but there's really nothing that we can do about that. You could also put something below so that it, it can rest on that, but I like having something simple on the side, much like this pipe. There is one thing to note, especially if you're playing on a PvP server or something like that. As soon as this bar is gone, that hatch is going to fall. So if you can use something inconspicuous like this, where, there's really nothing saying this is what's holding it up. If you get raided on a PvP server, people are going to have to drill through however many layers of, or like if you have a Vault 3 hatch on there, they're going to have to drill through each of those layers just to get to your forges. Which is better than just having them, in the middle of the room where anybody can grab them. Alright, and so there we have it. We have our forges, we have our incinerators. We're able to burn these bodies up after the Horde night, and everything looks a little bit better. And if someone was walking around our base and didn't know what to look for, hey, it looks like a nice, cool addition. But unless they know to go there, they won't even know there's a forge in the back. So with that, we are finished with the incinerator build. I just want to say thank you all very much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or even a request for something to be built, let me know in the comments below. I do try to take a look at each and every single one of them. If you ask something and I don't get back to you right away, just give me some time. Again, thank you all very much for watching, and have a great day.